Okay, let's get this stream started by booting Fallout 4. Did actually work. Sorry about the late start, that's all because my dog decided to have a dump. Why he can't go 7 hours without having a shit, I don't know, but apparently he can't. You know, he's given at least 18 hours. Yeah, no, not 8. Yeah, about 16, 17 hours he could go out and have a shit. But no, he decides to do it in the 7 hours where I'm asleep. I don't leave the door open while I'm asleep, obviously. So I'm not stupid. No, the little turd had to go. So I had to clean that mess up, and I have a phobia of touching turds, so I have to get a trowel and sort of a pair of trowels, put poo bags over and sort of get it up and flick it into the garbage can. Except I don't have a garbage can because I'm British, so we have the good old-fashioned green bin. So I assume it's the green bin animal waste goes in. Surely it should be the brown bin, that's for biological matter, but... yeah, regardless. It's a nasty, smelly job, and it's horrible, and I can't stand being near turds. Yeah. You know, it's horrible. Don't do it every day, but he does it just enough to surprise you, and it's horrible. Just trying to remember what I was doing. Yep. The stream viewers decided to hang. Just refresh. Whenever a stream hangs, just refresh YouTube.
Gotta be something good in here.
It's just something that works, and I think it's the same with Twitch, if anyone uses Twitch. You know, there was a point when I was considering moving to Twitch, until I realised that Twitch is not exactly a particularly nice platform. I don't get along with it at all. And it doesn't keep your videos either, which makes it completely useless for me. You know, I don't like... you know, I don't do things that I like stream once and then never be seen again. No, it's... my streams are sort of a record of what's gone on. You know, I don't want them deleted, I want them to stay there, so, you know, you can see what's happened in previous weeks and months, and in the Skyrim's case, almost a year. I mean... the Skyrim one's almost I think it will be a year old at some... you know, there'll be a year's worth of them. If there's one a week, roughly. Where's the way up to this place? I can never remember. Is it where the bus is? Yes, it's where the bus is. That's assuming I picked the spot. I don't want to go back... yes, I did. There's two reasons I picked Coastal Cottage. One, it's one of the best sites to pick for a raider settlement, because you don't have to worry about anything in a raider settlement. And two, it's a what you call it? It's a really shit settlement site for one, which makes it perfect for as a raider base. Two, I already have a raider settlement built there. It's not pretty, but you'll see when you see it, but but it isn't pretty. Nope, you can't pick that up. I thought you could. Everything is bound to E. Everything. I was actually just taking this back as well. I actually want to make sure I got the right grenade out. I don't want to actually throw a real grenade. Actually, if I stick those on equals like actual grenades on 2. That should allow me to quick swap grenades. Yeah, we'll wait for the vertebra because I really cannot be asked to walk all the way to the bread one because it's on the other side of the map. Ah, the semi-3D garbage pile. Because certain cups are actually 3D and most of them are. A lot of this pile isn't, but some bits of it are. It's actually quite clever. You can sort of tell which bits are real, because that's one of the real teddies. That's one of the fake teddies. You can sort of tell, but from it, it's hard. It's actually easy to tell drinking cups apart, but it's a neat enough little illusion. It sort of creates a look of 3D without actually having to go through all the massive graphical cost of having everything in a pile 3D. Postal cartridge is also in the arse end of nowhere.
Instruments read all clear. We're green for takeoff.
It's just where it is.
Weapons hot and ready to bring the pain, ma'am.
Also, if you want to make a raider settlement happy, there is one way of doing it really easily. You build chem stations everywhere, and you assign every single one of them to a booze still. I'm not kidding, that's really how you get so much happiness for that. So that completely happy making moonshine and having mysterious supply of infinite drugs come out of the drug machines. And that keeps them happy. Make them farm and that makes them unhappy. Like opposite of regular settlers. Regular settlers love farming. Or even odd place for a sentry bot. I can't even spin my minigun round that far. Odd place to find a random sentry bot. I believe that's an Institute Quest location. Yep, it is. Boom. Boom. Remember to turn the radio off. I clearly haven't been this route before. There's still cars go boom. Great, checkpoint defense. Actually land the... Oh, don't let me in Cambridge. I don't want to swim through dead ferals.
Stand by for landing.
Oh, that angle.
Good. I'm starting to get bored.
There is a mod that lets you jump from vertebrates, but I don't seem to remember it working particularly well. Wait a second. That's not... They have a fucking vertebird nearby? Really? Because that's mine, and that's another one. When it comes to these checkpoint defences, the Minutemen nearly always lose. They have atrocious armor. I think the best they ever seem to come in default is leather. So they have absolutely abysmal armor. They have pretty poor weapons. At best they sort of. I mean, in mine they all use laser muskets because that's the fucking Minuteman's weapon. Well, that's the sort of weapon. That's their trademark weapon. But at best they can use a very low-grade combat rifle. Most of the time it's some form of pipe weapon. The railroad typically does quite well. They've got quite good armor and they've got good weapons, up to and including Gauss rifles and the machine gun. So they get really good weapons. Brotherhood typically holds it because they've got, typically a mix of good armor and pretty powerful automatic lasers. And the Institute tend to lose it because, well, if they don't get us, well, with the Institute it's all down to random number of generation determining what synths you get. If you get the good ones, they're almost invincible and don't die. If you get the shit ones, they die in an instant. And then it's also determined, and then there's the chance of them failing is also determined by, well, what you actually have as the. Oh, I can't shoot that far. But actually, what you have as the enemy. Gunners are typically, I think, the biggest threat because they're typically well equipped and generally quite numerous. Raiders don't tend to be that good. Yaoguais die pathetically easily. Deathclaws, I think vanilla, they're really pathetic as well, because like every creature's pathetic vanilla. But with my I have my Deathclaws, the shit your pants and run type, they sort of nearly always win unless you get involved quickly. And it's probably ferals. This whole place is full of them. Oh dear, the vertibirds are coming. It's too far, I can't. It's got the dark pylon on the back, the hook. That is basically the only identifier you have at distance. I'm not even kidding, that's really about the only identifier you get for vertibirds at a distance. And vanilla, you can't tell the difference between a gunner and a vertebrate and a Brotherhood one unless you actually happen to be within VATS distance. Which, by points, they're on top here, but vanilla vertebrates are so hilariously weak. They're effectively a helicopter gunship, and yet the vanilla ones, you can take them down with a fucking vanilla base 3.8 pipe pistol. They are that weak. They are beyond pathetic. Oh no! The railroad are dead. How can they be turned hostile? They are dead. Ferals? Can't say I've seen that in this place like before. For some reason, this one's nearly always gunners. For some reason, I nearly always get gunners at this site. Not quite sure why, but for some reason I nearly always get gunners here. Which is odd, considering gunners don't tend to operate this far. This is not typically a gunner location. The power armor frame I've stripped. And shit. That's a lot deeper than I thought it was. Ugh, go walk my way out. No point in summoning a vertebrate for this shorter journey. And you can't use a jetpack underwater. At least that makes sense. almost out of power armor time. And I'm almost out of fusion core, so kind of perfect timing. What amazes me is those crops apparently have grown. I don't even think there's anything servicing them. Getting out of power armor can be a pain in the arse. Sometimes it just doesn't let, it just flat out does not want you to go. Might as well repair it while I'm here. I don't think it's taken that much damage, but... yeah, it's actually taken surprisingly little. I'm actually surprised how little that's taken. Always take the fusion core out. It just stops NPCs stealing it. And the keyword is stealing. Because in combat they'll just hop into the nearest power armor regardless of who owns it. I'm not sure if settlers do, I'm not sure if their AI tweaks them not to, but I always take my fusion cores out so no one can. Oh no! Some have come back. I think the robots respawn, or did I not I don't think... no, because I must have killed one of them. Maybe I did, maybe I killed the iBot. One of them always dies in the crossfire. It is typically the iBot, because the iBot's kind of pathetic. It's an iBot, what do you expect? What's this little townlet thing? Oh, Raider base. I'll just summon my little friend. Yeah, just as a reference, I think all my Queen locations are predetermined. I think. There it is. I'm not sure if blowing that up triggers it, but it helps just to have my alert queen when you're attacking this place. It just helps. Mainly because it provides a target other than you to shoot at. Oh, I think a vertebrate's on its way. This far north, that can only be Brotherhood. Oh, it's taking a liking to X6. Of course it is. That's a weird sounding gun. Must be silence. Yeah, the Milo Queen's down. I think the Vertibird opened fire. Yeah, the bird opened fire. I deliberately made the Vertibird minigun extremely powerful. The reason why is, in combat it is quite easy to take out the little initiate behind it. Because it's only ever an initiate. So the thing is, the minigun user is always really, really fragile and easily taken out. And it takes away most of the vertebrate's firepower. Oh look, it's got a dog in it. You often see the Brotherhood patrol with the dogs. This must be an actual patrol. Scribe, doggy, poor little initiate. No one noticed the blood bug. Might have been in this shopping cart, who knows. Oh no, the super mutant is attacking. This actually hits now. I converted it to a rifle. The pipe bolt action is actually a pretty solid rifle. I think it, in terms of weight, it's light. I'm not sure if it's lighter than a regular hunting rifle of similar spec. Made spikes. Always like making spikes. Oh my, little kill claws. Can't beat little choo-choo. Ah, the otherwise impassable bridge. What is it doing with its arm? I don't think it was full. I think things don't fully animate a certain distance, and clearly that sentry bot wasn't. There's always one on that bridge, but I think the other one was a separate one.
Please don't run. I'm going to enjoy taking you apart.
Wait a second, this gassy fish works. I think it is. Yes, it is. Might as well go in. There's a bobblehead in here. I think there's a magazine as well. I'm not sure. I can't remember if it's a magazine, but I know there's a bobblehead. Because it's the barter bobblehead, which I think gives more caps to vendors, which is never a bad thing.
You can't only take 10 cans? You know, it tastes better than that old cram or brahmin that's been sitting out in the sun for days. There are people out
Except when you look in the window, you can clearly see that it's Brahmin that's been sitting in the sun for days.
I'm sorry, but 10 cans is all I can commit to right now. It was selling like crazy for a while
Downright
there, but
primitive by
there's been
instinct.
talk about people getting sick.
people get sick all the time. That has nothing to do with my product. Besides, I mean, I'm only selling the meat you people bring me. If there's something wrong with it, it's your own damn fault.
Oh, so
It's probably these disgusting empty cans.
Hands off. You want to sell your product to the people out there? Then you can get out there and do it your damn self.
What?
It's probably the disgusting cans.
Come on.
Hi.
Fine.
Got any
Leave.
scab to sell?
You'll be back.
Maybe. Let me see what you have.
Have a look.
Yep, you have ammo. I always take ammo. I always leave them with one just in case, because I think that's their own ammo. I don't think that's actually a vendor ammo. You know, I always make sure they always have at least one ammo left, because that's all an NPC needs to fire their gun like crazy, is just one bit of ammo. I'm not even kidding, it is just one bit of ammo. Chameleon, complete garbage. It's more a nuisance than it is helpful.
was that in there about people getting sick?
Theo got that old cannery up and running about a year or so back. It was all good and well for a while, but don't get me wrong, not like people dying or anything. I'm sure I have something you're looking for.
Where did you get that vault suit?
Never been to 81, I take it? I grew up there, but left to be a trader. Nice Pip-Boy, by the way. Mine was a piece of junk. Threw it out years ago. Care to see what I've got for sale?
What kind of stuff do you have?
Oh, you know, food from the farm, stuff I trade in town, scavenge I find on the
And yet, only 44 rounds of ammo.
So, can I interest you in a trade?
Not right now.
Alright, I'll be around.
There is a point where you can actually recruit her as a settler. I think she's one of the top she's one of the few tier 4 vendors. Look, I can't remember how you do it.
You're back, bitch.
He only has 3 dialogue options.
Might be.
Have a look.
You know, his response to me was, bitch, I'm not gonna buy anything off that fucker.
You're welcome to have a look. But stay out of the old basement. It isn't safe down there.
The finest in Mr. Handy prepared food. Rad roach, blood bug, rad stag. Ugh, that is going to be one disgusting cocktail. A very unique door. I'm assuming that was the steamer or whatever they do to purify the meat. Or the radiation bath, one of the two. I mean, it is Fallout, so being a radiation bath probably wouldn't be that unlikely, but... It's also a case that it's... Radiation killing things is kind of a new thing. I think there's always a combat rifle or combat shotgun, they both look exactly the same in there. Oh no, there's the skill magazine, there's a magazine, and a bobblehead. Ah, no, prices are always better. Ugh. And then the same basic buff. Oh well. You said stay out the basement, right? Well, if this goes to the basement, then that's definitely where I'm going. Yeah, that's the steamer tank. You can the meat and then you steam, sort of get rid of the impurities. Yeah, look, yeah, that's definitely a steaming thing. As to why there's a very, very neat hole, I don't know. Let's go down into the basement. The hole's not to go in. It can only be ferals. Or lurks, it could be my lurks. I don't quite know. I haven't actually done it.
Other side.
That's the way out.
Local elevator controls disabled by system administrator.
I love how I can Hello, Aston Smith. Yes, I can see that. It's... Oh, lovely. It's all mole rat. I didn't even realise mole rat was that bad. Oh dear, not... You know... Which would you rather eat? Radical roach or mole rat? I would rather go mole rat. You know, it's probably slightly less disgusting than Radical Roach. You know, I can't imagine Radical Roach tasting too nice. Blood Bug is probably beyond repulsive. Or did that have a door open command on it? Durr. Yes, it did. New ferals. By far, not very dangerous. As long as you got a shotgun. Shotgun is a choice for zombie killing. When it comes to zombie killing weapons, you kinda can't beat a shotgun. Oh no! Ferals! How do I find so many railway spikes? Well, I'll tell you why. Look how many there is there. That's why I keep finding so many. It's because it's actually something that's a problem with a vanilla harpoon rifle. This isn't a vanilla mod. I put the shotgun mod on myself. It's a little mod. It's just one of the few weapon mods I put on myself because I was kind of, you know, ever since trying it on a harpoon rifle, I've sort of fell in love with the idea of a flechette shotgun. So that's why I seem to pick up a lot of railway spikes. But the thing is, it happens with a vanilla harpoon gun. You can fire one harpoon and get with the flechette version and get like 3 harpoons back. So it's not like it's It's not like it's that bad. That and the thing is, I could go along picking these things out of railways. You know, realistically, you're going to get most of them back when they hit a fleshy. You're going to get one back when you hit a fleshy target. So, hell, they clearly aren't damaged by going into a wall. So, oh no! More ferals! Boom. Is there anything down? Yep. One of my other mods, which I was amazed works properly, was I converted the hunting shotgun into a sort of an elephant gun style rifle, big 50 cal thing. And what amazes me is I put a scope on it. You know, I put a scope mod up for it. Ugh, trying to loot and you just keep drinking the disgusting water.
Please don't run.
But ugh, is that the scope actually fits properly on the double barrel shotgun, which it really shouldn't, because it's a combat rifle. I believe it's a combat rifle scope I used, and it actually fits, connects on properly, which is really disturbing and weird. It shouldn't, but it does. As soon as I find a weapon bench, I'll probably make one of those. Replace my pipe, rifle. My shitty little pipe rifle. Oh no! Glowing one! Wow, something actually hit me in the head. Oh, head injuries are so pointless. You don't stim pack for a head injury. Rickety. What level am I? That's a good question. I don't know. 47. That's a good question. So I don't really keep. I can't say I actually keep track of my level in Fallout 4 much. It's just something I don't do. You know, I can sometimes have like multiple perks just lined up ready, and I don't even realize I have them. Very unusual place for a tripwire on the ladder that no one goes down. Could be worse. Could find a locked duffel bag. That would be really weird. So I could find a locked duffel bag. I've yet to find one of those, thankfully, but it's always been some... You know, a locked duffel bag has always been one of those things where I'm honestly curious.
I told you to stay out of the basement! Now that you know my little secret, I'll just have to kill you.
Is using mole rat really, really that bad?
You hear me coming? Now I have to fight. Bloody fantastic.
Oh no, it's a two-eyed Mr. Handy. That is like the least threatening thing in the world. You know, I don't like... You know, it's mole rat meat. It's not that disgusting. It's no more disgusting than eating bloody rat roach or blood bug. Yeah. Oh dear. He tried to take me out with a pipe rifle. That's just sad. It's always sad when they try and take you out. You know, he has this perfectly good combat rifle. But speaking of which, I might as well see what is it, a shotgun or the railway gun? And I don't know. I might have stronger. I think it is the strongest, at least per shot.
There we go.
But I don't know if it's actually my strong. I think it's my strongest. It's just at the moment it's just what I'm choosing to use, mainly because I actually have ammo for it. Oh, it's a combat shotgun. To be honest, I don't use either of the combat weapons. I don't particularly like them. I just feel they have like no real purpose. I just don't like them. They should have been the same weapon. And you can tell that by the fact that the mods for him are the same, but, yeah. Well, he's dead, there's no point. I might as well steal all his potted meat. Got an iron stomach, I don't think that'll matter. Yeah, so let's see, this probably does about 200 damage per blast anyway. Yeah, 230. That's not more. That's pretty powerful. 193 for one bullet. Obviously, the Fat Man, the Jolly Fat Man is always going to be the most powerful weapon, but it's a Jolly Fat Man, you don't use it. That's pretty useful, but I think I was sort of waiting for the ammo to come back. That's also pretty powerful. In fact, let's swap to the Force of Nature for a bit. Of course it's blood bug. Of course it's something that's really awkward to hit with any weapon. Ugh. Blood bugs are just... they're too small. Poison. Where does the vampiric one go? Where? It looks like probably have to eat some potted. Oh, potted meat time. I might as well eat the potted meat. That's, yeah, a pretty good healing item, but it's also heavily radioactive, so not that useful. That's not even a children atom bay. Synths? Kind of a peculiar place for synths. That is the most wasteland version of the rifle. Oh, simps. I didn't even... Yeah, let's eat the perfectly preserved pie. I'll take the taste of this disgusting potted meat. Ah, the Museum of Witchcraft! You actually have to listen to the whole tape no matter what you do.
Jeffries, Lee got the recorder working. So this is sort of detail you had in mind when you signed up to go.
Also, I know exactly what's coming, so...
Linwood, Lot Butler. What was his name? Wellington? Wellingham?
Yeah, it's a level Deathclaw, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think it's always one that's a higher level than you. It's, or at least higher, stronger than a normal one. It's, I don't. Typically, I think I've seen an albino, an alpha, a matriarch, even a savage. I think in here sometimes. It's always a strong one. It's never a weak one. Although strong is a relative term with Deathclaws. Yeah, because they're all kind of monstrous, so... Yep, there goes one of its snacks. You know, this would be a lot more you know, this is quite a nice way to introduce Deathclaws. Except, of course, you get introduced to Deathclaws as the pathetic, especially weak one at the very, very beginning. It's the first time I fell down that hole. X6, get out of my way, you're a meat shoot. I managed to fall down the one hole. Where is it? Oh, I didn't kill it, did I? No, I did not. X6 out of the way. Savage! Yeah, I definitely did not want to fight that! That's why I have the Fat Man. That's what this is for. I love how even though I fired a mini nuke at it, the perfectly preserved egg is still there. I think that's set in place, that holotape. I don't think it can go anywhere. No, I did not know this was here. I have walked past this so many times, I didn't even know it was here.
Oh, hey, Mama. You looking for this?
I think I'll probably drop this off before I forget about it. Now, do I actually have the quest marker? Because I never remember where this bloody place is. Yeah, there it is. I never take it back to Diamond City, ever. Mainly because of my contempt for the Diamond City snobs. And my general love affair with Deathclaws. So, kind of a two oofa situation. Actually, might as well claim this oh, I'm going to go past Coastal Cottage anyway, might as well claim it. Get the settlement built. Also, that won't take long. Because I have pre-built settlements for most locations. Let's just say, I'll look at my list. Yeah, I have at least 21 pre-made settlements, so... For some reason, I've actually had it where there's one Raider gang up here, and then the one I summoned down here.
Hey, boss, I checked out what we're facing. Just some filth. Ready to clean the place when you are. Wanna move in?
Let's get this show.
I don't know why you would want to change their gear, because their gear is generally superior to pretty much everything you would ever face. It's kind of the weird irony of the thing. Is the gear is generally superior. Coastal Cottage, arguably the world's crappiest settlement. I'm not proud of what I've made here, that's for certain. It's not a settlement I'm particularly happy with. But it's Coastal Cottage, am I ever going to be happy with it? Oh great, they're glowing my alerts too. Oh. Now, if I remember correctly, you've got to build... You know, I don't want to risk messing it up, so I'm going to build a signal flag first. That completes a little quest, and I can destroy said signal flag. Talk to the raider.
Hey there. Fine.
I didn't want to trade. Now I can just talk to Shank and that's finished. So, now, you boot up... Oh, you always save first, but... Miscellaneous... transfer settlements... Okay. If you do anything with settlements, you either want sim settlements, or you want transfer settlements, or both. Right at the bottom. Yeah, there it is, coastal. That should do it. I always make sure I save. The nuking is not particularly reliable. Sometimes you have to do a bit of cleanup afterwards.
Died too fast. I'm losing my touch.
And so, because that car's, I know that's scrappable. That crate isn't. But as I say, I'm not particularly happy with this settlement. It serves a purpose and nothing else. So then you don't come back here for a long time. So I'm not as you can see, it's not a particularly nice looking settlement. I just, you know, it's not something I'm happy with, that one. That's for certain. I'm not a fan of like overly cluttered places either. If you look on the Nexus, a lot of the settlement blueprints are just over cluttered beyond belief. Like they have like over 1,000 objects in them. That's stupidly cluttered. Oh shit. Use the overpowered missile launcher that ignores all damage resists. Oh great, it's an assault troll. Can I get a grenade up there? No, I cannot. I'd rather throw a signal grenade. Ugh, you can't quite get a grenade up there. Great.
coffee factories added.
Fine, I'll use your elevator. Hey, that actually did something. That's unusual. Oh, one time I didn't expect it to pick a fight, actually decided to pick a fight. Whee! 3-4 legs. If you're wondering why I just jump without getting hurt, it's because I got 3-4 legs. Oh no! What? Unusual place for a alert to be. Must have come from here, but okay. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that. Moving on. Cabot Quest location. Don't think there's anything else there. It's kind of a nothing location. Behold, the only non-hostile deathclaw in the game. There's also a deathclaw gauntlet around here, I just can't remember exactly where it is. Only non-hostile deathclaw. Yeah. Can't say I've seen a Milo Queen this far out before. Ugh, the hatchlings. It's like a bloatfly, it fights with its young. And it's dead. Love how it just exploded. For no reason. Then again, I do have a bloody mess, so things do just explode for no reason. It's the sort of nature of bloody mess, is it? Things do just explode for no reason. And for whatever this thing is, it's like this extra trail of water. It's always just behind me. You know, it's always. What's this? Farmer.
Hi. You saved my life.
Did I?
Take this.
I don't even recall seeing you in that fight, unless the dogs. I think the dogs were supposed to attack him, but got distracted by the Milo Queen. So, yeah, I think that. No, that's not Outpost Ammonia. Where is it? Oh, no. Is this far over? No, this is just a radio mast. Boom. Oh look, it's one of my raiding gangs.
Yeah? Yes?
Hey.
Yeah?
Seem overly chirpy for prisoners.
Maybe next time.
You know, lead bugs. Small, nasty, awful creatures. Okay. Can't say I've seen many legendary flames. Possibly because it's a weapon that is complete. Oh, not again. Or is this an actual building? I don't think it is. I think it's just a mount. And oh dear, there's another enemy stuck in something. Becoming a far more common occurrence than it should be. Although it is a Bethesda game, so I don't know why I'm not expecting it. Enemies in the floor is quite normal. To be honest. What is it, though? Oh, it's Radical Scorpion. Can't say it's a particularly common sight. Even got the Mr. Handies out. That line isn't voiced. Makes me finish this location wasn't fully finished.
Good day. Can I help you with anything, Mum?
What do you have for sale?
Not much, I'm afraid. Our suppliers. But I could offer you jewelry.
Let's see what you have.
I still have a few things in stock.
Now, I don't know why these vendors take caps. Like, it makes no sense as to why they take caps. It really doesn't. You know, sort of common sense would dictate they take pre-war money. But apparently they take caps. Oh well. Well.
I'm afraid our boxing instructor, the chap, is a little under the weather today.
I don't quite know how Mr. Handy can be a boxing instructor.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
I'm not quite sure how a Mr. Handy can be a boxing instructor. Doesn't even have arms. You know, surely something a little more human would make a bit more sense. You know, an Assaultron would probably make a lot more sense. But are they Robco? I can't remember. Because I know General Atomics is definitely the Mr. Handy, but I can't remember if the Assaultron was Robco or General Atomics. I think of RoboBrain was General Atomics. You know, it's hard to remember which one's which. Because basically there's two big robot manufacturers, Robco and General Atomics. Robco is Protectron, I think, and SentryBot. Well, I know General Atomics is the Mr. Handies. Ew, scummy water. At least I'm not going to drink from that one until I try to loot anything. What the likelihood of actually getting two factions? There's two of the same here, because I know it's two random factions fighting it out. But I wonder what the odds are of getting two of the same. Because I know the very, very first time I came near here, it was super mutants. Like in my very first save, when I came past here, it was super mutants, which was enough to scare me right off because I was low level. So. Now I know it's just a random encounter spot where two different factions are normally fighting it out. So it was probably super mutants versus something like traders, and the traders got decimated as they always do, resulting in the super mutants being the only thing here. Or it was super mutants and super mutants. It could have been double. I don't know. I can't remember because I just legged it. Because they had much more powerful weapons than my shitty little pipe weapon, which was my shitty little 10mm, which I'm not sure if it had ammo by that point. You know, it's one of those things where I wasn't actually sure if it even had ammo anymore. Raiders or gunners probably. Oh, bloat flies. Can't say that's what I was expecting. I love it. Vats misses at point blank range, and yet I can't fail to miss a single one. That's Vats. That's Vats in a nutshell. That it makes impossibly difficult shots, and then misses the easiest shots of the lot. Oh, checkpoint. Where's this checkpoint? Point. Sometimes it's just hard finding the checkpoint. Oh, I think I know which one it is. It's the valley. Sounds like someone has a neon. Ah, Deathclaw. And it's too close for me to use an explosive. It's gonna murder him. Oh good, it's on it. Oh. What happens? Of all the ones to survive. Not the two power armor troops in T-50. Not the one in T-50. Yeah, not the power armor troops in the T-45 armor. No. It's the fucking aspirant with no armor that's the lucky one that survived. This T-45 garbage. It's not even worth picking up. It's not even worth breaking and entering to get that. What is it? Doggies? Mechanist shitbots? Oh, come in, mechanist shitbots, come hear them. Or sentry bot on top of the freeway. Sentry bot on top of the freeway, I think. Looking at it, I'd say it's that sentry bot on top of the freeway. Yeah. Now. No, that's not the one I want to aim at. There's one called Boomer that actually has a mini nuke.
Nothing there now.
Told you! And as soon as the faintest hint that he's spotted me, boom. Get too close for him to use it. Let's take that fat man off him before he uses it again. Stim, and I'll heal other items. I will don the last of my potted meat and some disgusting potato chips. Oh, that's, you know, if that's something you don't want to eat is out-of-date potato chips. They are like guaranteed shit in a. They're basically the shits in a bag. That's what they are. course, you had to be legendary, didn't you? Take your crap. Well, not one of those flew straight. Sleep for an hour, regain health. Sleeping is overpowered.
Hell yeah.
Again, I get the feeling that I was actually supposed to reference the giant squid that was sort of cut content. And it's another evidence of the sort of cut. Yeah, because one of these ones has a giant robot on it. I think I mentioned it when I got it, but there was a giant robot that later became Liberty Prime. You know, they decided just to reuse Liberty Prime rather than the one he drew concept art for. So it's... things change during development. Uses ammonia. And important. Because for some reason with Outposts the more... Oh great! That leaning wall of crap is still there, that didn't... That gets... Oh yeah, that gets deleted by other means. It's not actually a scrappable object, it just gets deleted by other means. Same with that lamp. Oops. I better scrap that. Now I know I better scrap that before. But I'm actually quite happy with how Zimonia turned out. It's surprising. Which is why I always do a little save. Yeah, so I'll scrap this structure. I didn't think I had to, but because of the way the items are linked, and as a result this ladder never goes away. Because of the way it's linked, you have to sort of scrap that piece of crap. You have to scrap that, you have to scrap... This ladder doesn't go away, you can't get rid of it, but... Now I just need to get back into a place where I know nothing gets built, because Ammonia's too small to... So now I know that's gone, I shouldn't have any other issues with building shit. I think it's just that one spot. Mainly because I can't undelete the wall. And I know you can't delete that little wall. Because for some reason those stairs, despite being like the vanilla stairs, don't actually work. Zimonia. Nuke settlement before, yes. Destroy all. Boom. Now it's got to rebuild everything. So this is what I'm supposed to... Oh, no, I'll delete a few trees. Not a pro... Yeah, I'm used to doing a little bit of cleanup after a settlement's done. Importing it's just normal, you just have to delete things that clash. Normally trees, and only have to clear a bit of land. No, Simonia's one I was actually quite happy with how it turned out. Because technically it spawns it at the workshop and then moves it in relation to the workshop, I believe. Which is why you saw the earrings clack against the workshop. But no, I was actually really quite happy with how Zimonia turned out. You know, it's a little town. You know, private house, public house. Let's just look at the private house. You know, the little private house. Still a shack, but it's a private shack. And then this sort of provides the defensive aspect. You can tell I didn't faction theme this because it's got the Gauss weapons. I try to keep these like generic. Of course, don't go scrapping anything, but there is a tree sticking out my house. Although it appears to be the only one, so I think I did quite well. I think I did quite well for that. I always tend to clean up branches and like. I'm not a big fan of having the dead trees lying around. I don't mind like these sort of dead twigs, but it has to be a twig that's sort of still standing. And of course, little junk fence around the edge, just sort of. It's just a perimeter. The guard posts are dead. It's just primary. It does stop companions dead though. Do a question. No, I wasn't overly fond of 10 Pines as settlement anyway, and it makes you go to fucking Corvega, which is somewhere no one in their right mind would ever want to go. It's such a busy interior, Corvega. It's massive for one, and it's also got about 1 million different enemies in it. So it's about the only interior I think I've ever crashed in Fallout 4. That's how bad it is. They might have a weapons workbench, I'm not sure. I don't think they do. When you're looking for a weapons workbench, they're surprisingly rare. I say I wasn't overly fond of what I did with this place. It's one of my earlier settlements before I sort of got my style down. Yeah, before Oh. Unusual. Can't say I've ever had Yao guys here before, but these.
Thanks for your help, friend.
Are for some reason.
I didn't want you to have all the fun.
Well, I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been here.
Can I use the workshop? I saved your fucking lot.
You showed up just in the nick of time.
What did they want?
They were raiders. What do you think?
No, they were Yao guys.
At a minimum. Thanks for your help fighting them off.
I was glad to help out.
I can't argue with your timing.
Actually, is that just within range of my raider shit? No, it isn't. The slog is basically my first go-to choice. I mean, mainly because it can actually provide 10 Pines is another one that can provide by vanilla. But, ugh. You know, they must be touched in the head to think that Yao Guai were raiders. What do they want? They were raiders. No, they were fucking Yao Guai. They were fucking bears. They wanted to give you bone break fever. That's what they wanted. You know, that's all bears ever want, just to give you bone break fever. Oh, the operators are out here. And so once you've sort of claimed all the zones, the nuclear world gangs do sort of have a presence in the Commonwealth. You know, they actually do move out. Bad little doggy. Oh no! Oh, little doggy. Raider pit, raider pit. Yep, I'll do the raider pit. But it's full of water and Mirelurks. That's not a raider pit. Not yet, but it becomes one. Astute as always. Actually, common sense dictator goes to the surface and look for the bubbles. Apparently said bubbles aren't exactly. Oh. Nothing on this. Oh, wait, there it is. Look for the next pipe. Talk to the guy I didn't even know was here. Because of course.
Maybe if I close off this intake, I can get more pressure. That's a ticket. You do the honors. Hit that switch on the end of the pump. That's done. Let's listen to Herb go. Wait a second.
Mercs! Hey Lurks! Everyone's favourite. Krabby time. Oh, that's rare. Chinese officer sword.
Excuse me.
Meyer Rose. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that stirred him up. Anyway, I still got some tinkering to do on this thing. Shouldn't be too hard now, though. Thanks for pitching in. There's a little something before you clear out.
And that slowly, you know, come back in a few game days, and that will be a nice big raider then. Yeah, that's like an absolute raider hole. It's also possibly your first introduction to my works. You know, considering that if you follow Preston Garvey's advice, he sends you to 10 Pines Bluff, and you might just find your way there in the process. Ah, one of a few campfire locations. There's only a few of these.
Huh?
Hey, pal.
Hi, miss.
Hey there.
Yeah?
Okay.
Can we leave a light on tonight? I like sleeping with the light on.
Sure thing. I'll watch over you while you sleep.
I can't say I've actually seen that one before. Also, the extra block. It's a kid, so it doesn't sit on it properly. Oh dear, this is Concord. Leave his long johns on. I don't really want another pair of long johns. They're not really worth having. Let's see what's upstairs in this little house. Nothing. You know, not one of these houses has a bathroom. Well, they do have a chamber pot. A portally bucket. You know, 'cause not... Oh dear. Oh dear. Let's leave Concord. It clearly he does not want to.
I think we're being shadowed.
Oh dear, something's attacking. I am obliged to destroy it. It's Force of Nature, you'll go right up in the face to hit him with it. Oh dear. No. I haven't been through here in so long that the Minuteman's corpse is... What?
Excuse me.
Take care of your gun, it'll take care of you.
Okay. The Minuteman corpse is gone, and Preston is just a hat, half a head and a hat floating in the stairs. Okay. I am leaving now. I am leaving Concord now. I am confused. You know, without fail, every time I've been through, and I've been through Concord to get the Preston Garvey quest at least 10 times, and every time, without fail, Presto Zipesto has been on the balcony. And then I approach from a weird angle, and he's in the floor. Also, impenetrable wall defense relies on slight ledge. Yeah, it's not the nicest of places, but it's one I'm... okay, is this... It's a friendly mole rat. What a bizarre coincidence. Also, that was never intended to be the case with that car. It wasn't supposed to be there. I don't like having the cars because they do go boom. This is one of my earlier settlements I'm actually happier with. You know.
Yeah.
It's got the entire farm spaces up here. And this will grow on top of the building. You know, it's one of the ones I'm actually happier with. I don't hate this old... You know, it's an unusual old set. It's one of my older ones, but it's one I'm not particularly hating off. No, it's not one I would scrap and destroy. It's friendly mole rat, but it's one I'm quite happy with. No, but I'm gonna make that a sniping shotgun. Nuke launcher, might as well. Apparently I deleted the N. Oh well. Nuke launcher. That's unique as well. Put a space before it and then you don't have to worry about deleting it by accident. The shemmed round sword, that's also unique. There it is. $50 receiver. Big cannon. Gotta have the long barrel, otherwise it's not very accurate. Again, not very accurate without the full stock. Hunting scope, and it actually, it actually connects properly, which really baffled me. At first person, and dropped on the floor, it works fine. The question is, do I have any... Furious is not something I want for a single shot weapon, and definitely not this. The question is, do I actually have any useful legendary effects? And the... Yeah, poisonous gives us a little extra damage. But if powerful. Perfect. Now, powerful is pretty much never a full or 25%. And because it's base damage rather than modded weapon damage, but it's still more damage. Goodbye, crappy sniper rifle. I couldn't get the sound to change. For some reason I couldn't get that working. But as you can see, it does. It mounts. The scope mounts fine. And, well, even the reload animation works fine. It's really bizarre how it really shouldn't work. It works fine in both animations, which is really bizarre. But now I actually have a proper sniping weapon that isn't like some shitty bit of crap that's going to fall apart at the moment's notice. Stream's completely dying, and for some reason I'm viewing the stream watch, and I don't know why, but apparently it's completely dead. Pause for a sec, I'm just sorting this out. Yeah, the stream's fine. Sorry, but when it derps out like that, it wasn't letting me refresh the page or anything. I had to basically just refresh. I was wondering if this is a friendly bloat fly. It was passive, but I wouldn't say it was friendly. It's unusual having having a shotgun, what was normally a shotgun with a scope on it. Very unusual. But it works. Can't argue with results. Is it what? No, this is a ranger cabin. I thought I'd done the Gorski cabin. That is unpredictably atrocious with it, though. I think VATS is based on base range, which for... well, with this is fucking atrocious. So...
nice.
Ah! The scummy hand-drawn magazines. How that's even legible, I don't know, but... it works, it works! Also, I don't know if I said this before, probably when I encountered it, but the very first time I encountered this place on my very first save, and this was my very first encounter with feral ghouls, and it was during a rat storm that I encountered this place. You know, it was my very first encounter with ferals, because it was one of the first places I ever went. I never went straight to Concord. It's just one of those things, it just... when you get a location for the first time in a certain weather, it just sort of leave its mark. I should probably find my way back to Nuka Whirl. That way I can at least get Shank out in the Commonwealth. So I think this is... yeah, can't say I've been here before. Kind of run out.
Hey, Dixie.
The
Well. Fancy meeting you out here. You just made my day.
Yeah, I could say the same. That's... I never thought I'd...
Well.
This is new to me entirely.
Boss, we were just debating which of these little lambs to bleed first. But since you're...
I don't think she's supposed to be...
Let them live.
Oh, come on. All right. You heard the boss. We can't kill him, but that doesn't mean we can't have a look.
I don't know where this encounter is supposed to be, but she is a hell of a long way away from it. This is like a very... this is like edge of the world that I've never even bothered get... oh, it's down here.
Hey there.
So, we're on your good side, eh? That means you would like us. We're fearless.
Hey, things are boring as hell since Nisha.
Yeah, so this is what it is.
I ain't no fan of playing nice with others.
I just find it hard to believe that there's a random encounter spot where it's basically, I don't think the edge of the world is far from here. I think it's very much a case of, it's the top of this hill. He uses this hill as sort of a natural barrier, at least I would hope. It seems to be using this hill as a natural barrier, so it's an odd space for a random encounter. I can't say I've ever been out here, so it's amazing. You play these games for hundreds and hundreds of hours and still don't actually find everything. And I think that's sort of the beauty of the Bethesda game, is it's the way it is, the way it's designed. You know, it's not a game where you follow a gut. You know, it's just you find shit that you've never found before. You know, it's not like most games. You'll find most things in your first run, and then there's secret things, and then there's cryptically secret things, and then there's the how the fuck did anyone find these things? You know, when like the developer just sort of left a cheat item in, and it's sort of ridiculously well hidden. But I never. Yeah, there's the border. This fence doesn't perfectly sit on the border, but there does tend to be like a little wire fence of all things, just stopping you going too far. I can't say I've ever followed this pipe before. Mainly because I never even knew it was there. But you know, Bethesda games aren't games you grab you need a guide for, because they aren't. You know, Final Fantasy, for example, is a series where you pretty much need a guide if you're going to see everything, because some of the stuff in that is unbelievably well hidden. You know, it's not. There's hidden. Then there's the. You know, you have the hidden stuff which you might stumble across by accident. Then you have the cryptically hidden stuff, which again you might stumble across, but if you're good at cryptic stuff, you'll probably find that. You know, there are clues left to it. And then there's the how the hell did anyone find that stuff? I mean, you know, and the thing is, I get the feeling the developers sort of help the guide writers and, you know, sort of leak certain things exist, or people actually hack into the code and have a look at it. It's basically looking for secret shit in a way that you can actually find it. But you know, Bethesda games aren't like that. Everything is there. You know, you don't have a guide. You don't have to have a guide telling you where to go because the things are too well hidden. You know, like it's a 1 in 100. You know, like 1 in 1,000 people will actually find it. In fact, that's probably a little lit. You know, like it's got a combination of random number generation, and it's just a case of, you know, that just doesn't appeal to me too much. I don't like things that, like when a lot of the extra content is hidden away ridiculously well. It just sort of loses its appeal for me. I like it where you can do everything, but you probably won't. But you can. There's nothing that's like, okay, the free fall legs in Fallout 4 are kind of that case. But of course I could have found those in the creation kit and looked up where they were, you know, but so that's the only example of something that's ridiculously well hidden in Fallout. In any Bethesda game, actually, I think it's one of the best hidden things in the entire thing, because it's in a place where you basically cannot reach without some really clever crap, like sort of wall climbing with a garbage can.
And on behalf of the Nuka-Cola Corporation, we'd like to welcome each and every one of you aboard the Nuka Express monorail. For your own safety, please remain seated or utilize the provided handrail while the train is in motion.
Normally I fast travel, so I didn't even know this happened.
To direct your attention to the right side of the monorail, you can observe Nuka World's famous Fizz-Top Mountain. Standing at over 100 meters tall, Fizz-Top Mountain is the largest man-made structure in Nuka World and features the 5-star Fizz-Top Grill. Coming up in the heart of Nuka World, Nuketown, USA. Featuring the
And this is where normally it would cut out.
the Bradburton Amphitheater and the Parlor Dinner Theater. And kids, don't forget to tell your parents to bring you to the Nukacade, where you can play games and earn tickets to win fabulous prizes. From Nuketown, USA, you can access any one of our 5 individually themed parks. Experience the future at the Galactic Zone, or relive the Wild West.
Cheesy advertisement.
Tour through the Nuka-Cola bottling plant, or visit Kitty Kingdom and meet the whole Nuka family. And finally, for the nature lover in you, travel to Safari Adventure and delight in over 100 different animal species from around the world.
I say I can't say I've ever taken this train more than once, I'll save. So I've never actually had that heard that before. I've never actually heard the full thing before. It's funny because normally I would have, but funnily enough I've never done it. But I guess because I'm sort of limiting myself from using fast travel, even then I would normally fast travel from the station just to save a few load screens. So I'm kind of a lazy cow. It's the easiest way to describe me. Yeah. I'm not active by any means. I love it. Bends just enough the wrong way to let you in. Oh, it bends that. That one just doesn't work. Okay.
Word going around is there's some new raider boss.
The shitty settlement.
Not too shabby. I'll make sure you're cut of any caps the out. So now that we got part, if you want to hang on to this, I'll make sure those any caps they provide and the more a settlement. Now, like before, the methods or you and a crew.
Let me talk to them.
Sure. So, which crew you want keeping?
The operators.
Would you honestly trust us, the others, to actually look after a supply chain?
Is that it's got to be near the crews.
Honestly.
No settlement's just gonna hand over goods if there's no one close by. And if you ever want to see for yourself which settlements are within range, the Slog might be a good choice to hit. Though
Slog is always a very good choice because it's one of the really good producing places. And I don't think it's particularly good to build on either. Green Top's another good one. Again, for the same reason, it's not the best to build on, and it's got a lot of pre-made plants.
To be trifled with. You can try convincing them. Lizzie Wyeth with the operator. And if none of that works, well, and it's worth remembering. But
That's what and my persuasion grenade only works on tired farmers, and there is some form of lore behind it. You can sort of as to why it's so specific. There is sort of a backstory for it.
Talk about it. Still trying to get the blood out of my ear. Just let me know if anyone comes asking.
Boss, someone's coming through the gauntlet. Go see Fridge. He'll tell you what to do.
Yep. Something's coming through the gauntlet. That can actually lead you to like one of the best weapons in the game, the Eatonus, which is just ridiculously broken.
Bags and William are strict as far as bosses go. But if you can do the job, they'll take care of it.
Hey there. Over, boss. A pleasure. Shank said you might need some tools to... Well, I've put together a couple of... Only thing we ask in return is that you... Don't worry. It's wonderful. So, first up, toss one of these grenades. Now, to function, so it's not going to work on people. But for your purposes, right? Stink bomb. Just give them a try first. Here. So, gulp down a... Plus, here. You should have no problem getting at least. And just...
Still need the
You want us on your side? I was on my way to tell you.
If Lizzie asks you to volunteer for one of the tests.
Well, that's... Oh yes, God, you to gauntlet. Stretch.
You ain't gonna back him, right?
No, ferals are more civilized. They don't shit in each other's clothes. They don't do all the stupid shit the pack does. The ferals are more civilized. I'm not even kidding, they really are. Oh wait, gotta see friction and Nuka-Cade, not go straight to Cooler Cars, which is on the other side of town anyway. The Nuka, is this the new Cappy's Cafe, which like serves no purpose whatsoever? Here it is. This is the Nuka-Cade. Makes you wonder how it's called Nuka Games at one point.
The machines have been acting up, but don't worry, I fixed them.
I heard you were looking for me?
You heard the alarm, right? That means someone's in the box. What happens next is up to you.
Time to put on a show.
Hell yeah! Just head for the...
You miss out on booty if you don't. I don't know why you'd ever want to miss out on the booty. Because the booty is the best bit. Everyone knows that booty is the only reason you do anything. Also, Disciple's ass is enormous. That's like, I thought mine was big, but bloody hell. I don't know if it's just the fact that the Disciple outfit's really accentuated, or whether they actually do just have gigantic asses.
Hey, boss.
I think it's a combination of both. If they do have gigantic asses, plus the sort of everything does it. Because I'm not even sure X6's ass is that big. Stop turning around. I mean, yeah, her ass is big, but it's not that big. That Disciple's ass was just enormous. Who? Was it Little Gunner? I think he's always the first. And no, this is not a perfectly accurate weapon. In fact, it's horrifically inaccurate. Oh, he wasn't actually. Oh, you little bitch. Oh, of course you had to be a little bitch that uses a stealth boy, don't you? Fine, you know what? You know what? I actually have a weapon that will do well against that. I know it's nocturnal, but still. And the machine gun kills too fast before food comes. Typical. Now I know the turd as a stealth boy is invincible before the fight starts. Because of course the turd would have a stealth boy. You know, stuff like that you just can't... You know, you can never predict... And stealth boys are something where they're really ridiculously overpowered when enemies use them, but when you use them they can see through it perfectly fine. Hey. And the machine... That's not even a regular machine gun, I don't think. That's something else. That's something else. That's not a regular machine gun, definitely. That's something else entirely. It might be the one-time mines come into effect. Because whatever that is, it's... Of course it had to be an automatic weapon, and of course it has to be ridiculously overpowered. Because automatic weapons are. Okay, the mines are too powerful. The mines are so powerful that they actually wipe the entire arena. Oops. Also, didn't they say they cleared Coulter's body up, and yet... Yeah. I think the plasma mine was a bit overkill. You know, I might as well have used the bloody... You know, I may as well have used the fat mine, because that would have had the same effect. What? The mine doesn't go off? How tough is this fucker? How much health does he have? He survives that fucking mine? Like, seriously? How much health does this... How much health does this fucker have? That explains a lot. A powerful machine gun, that explains so much. And that explains why he took so... why he did so much damage. That is like a top spec machine gun. No wonder that did so much. No wonder I was dying ridiculously fast. That's 70... That is 75 damage with like one perk in Commando. That is ridiculously powerful. No wonder I was dying. So there's no small wonder why I was dying that time. As to how he survived the massive plasma mine explosion, I don't know. Must have like 900 health or something ridiculous. Also, I buffed flamers. Just imagine how useless this would be if I hadn't buffed it. They are so useless to vanilla. I think it was supposed to do fire damage, but they sort of semi-cut fire damage. It's there, it's in the files. It works perfectly fine, but nothing resists it, and nothing... There's also cryo damage, which again is in the files, but nothing resists it. Except I think some things do. I think like power armor does actually resist it. It's, you know, the damage types exist, but you don't actually have it. You know, I've never once died in one of those fights, and there I go dying twice.
Oh, hi there.
Where's the 2 quest marks here? Well, got claim my gang's haul from a local world. What? I completely forgot about that.
I thought about trying my hand at Gauntlet just to see if I could do it. Waste of time.
Nisha really only has one rule around here. Don't get caught. Nisha was right about you. Things I wanted to slip.
I think you have to have 3 raider outposts in the Commonwealth to, and 1 farm to trigger the ending quest of Nuka World Power Play. Which will be the point where I decide if I actually kill the raiders off or not. No, I can't harvest it.
Galactic Zone's impressive, sure. Did you ever feel like that giant handy's just watching you?
So exposed.
Pack and disciples. Bunch of amateurs playing dress up.
Well, that's my booty claim. When you feel a cough coming, but you sort of have to... You're speaking halfway. Bounce, bounce. Also, I think the way damage resistance works in Fallout 4, you will pretty much never have more than, say, 50% full damage resist. You can obviously power armor pushes it higher because power armor is so far over the cap. Because I think how it's calculated is if your armor rating matches the damage, so you say you've got 90 armor rating, you can take a shot that does 90 damage, I think, will do half damage. And exponential for less. And more. I think that's sort of it meets in the middle. And then you get exponentially less the more armor rating you have, so you can have a 180 armor resistance against the same 90 shot bullet. You would not be taking no damage, you would be taking like only 6, you'd only be taking like 40% of the damage. It's a really bizarre calculation, which I think is it's completely different than the one in Fallout 3 and in Skyrim. And Skyrim's was pretty arcane. I never quite understood how that one worked. And Fallout 4 was also rather arcane. In general purposes, power armor is normally just overkill, and makes you pretty much impervious. At that point, the levels power armor provides the in the thousands. It starts sort of providing you more than anything. Skyrim, actually, it might just be a case of each, for say 600 armor resist, each 100 points of armor is 10%. I think with Skyrim, anyway. So it's just arcane. Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas were both really, really simple. Well, New Vegas sort of used damage threshold, but it was still really simple. Damage threshold is what was reduced from your anything over that, and it was sort of it could get a bit iffy, but anything less and it did like minimal damage. Well, Fallout 3 had damage resist, which was a straight 8%, basically a straight percentage. Something of 50 damage resist in Fallout 3 will give you 50% damage reduction. Something of 99 will give you 99% damage reduction. Something of 1 gave you 1% damage reduction, and you honestly questioned why bother with this shit stuff. You might as well have been running around naked. It would have provided you the same level of protection. And of course, I think there's very, very few items in New Vegas have both damage threshold and damage resist. There's not many, and I think the unofficial patch fixes it, but it is a thing. Whee! Oh no! A Jaguar! Oh, stunted Jaguars. So shit. So shit. Barbecue time! You have barbecued beef, don't you? I don't know what people put on Barbies. I know Aussies put shrimp on the Barbie, but I don't know what anyone else does. That'd be sort of like, that'd be like certain irks. I think fog crawlers are shrimp based. Or are they prawn based? They're either shrimp or prawn. One of the two. Obviously lobster is the hunters, and of course crab is the regular ones. Quite powerful at night, this. Guess that's nocturnal for you. Here, Gunner, where are you? Yes, this is very powerful at night. Extremely so. It also eats through ammo at a truly shocking rate. Use your tactic of WM1. And unfortunately there's no air blast, you just sort of aim. is there going to be a behemoth in there, or behemoth, or however your local pronunciation says it? No, it doesn't appear there is. Maybe it's a one-time affair. So, because this is one of the few spots behemoths or behemoths spawn. Again, they're laughably useless vanilla as well. Everything's laughably useless vanilla. You know, certain weapons are laughably useless, like the double barrel shotgun is completely useless. By the time you can unlock like its superior stock upgrades, the weapon itself has already become completely obsolete. You know, it's kind of a point where, you know, it's kind of stupid and badly does it. You know, some of the weapon balance is atrocious. You know, pipe pistols remain relatively useful. The bolt action one, unless you are solely a pistol user, is outclassed by the hunting rifle in every way. I'm not even sure if the hunting rifle's lighter. It might be, or it might be weights the one thing where it isn't outclassed. The regular pipe weapon is pretty much outclassed by the combat rifle. Although it does remain like your only usage of .38 rounds unless you have a .38 combat rifle. Also, the turrets have respawned, but the gunners have not. Weird. Well, I should probably head to the Schlag. And I definitely will not be doing. When freedom calls, I can just leave Preston in the floor. Oh, the checkpoint. Well, at least I know where the checkpoint is. The laser fire is a dead. Oh, the railroad! Yes, this gets very overpowered at night. And I think the downside with it, Nocturnal, is it gets hilariously useless in day. Oh dear, the flamer effects have gone wild. Oh dear. Apparently I've lit the whole forest on fire. Oops.
Excuse me.
We may have liberated the Commonwealth.
Sometimes fire effects just go ridiculous. Yeah, they just go ridiculously huge for no apparent reason. So apparently I've lit the forest on fire. And there it stopped, it's gone now. Just, if I go back in... Yeah. It occasionally, just, for some reason I think fire sometimes occasionally... one of the particles just goes grotesquely oversized and just sort of results in like the whole... Looks like the whole forest is burning down. Don't know why. But it does. Also, there was something, just little mention that's semi-related to Fallout 4. That Fallout 4 New Vegas, this is featured Content Friday, showed off Crescent Canyon. Which is quite, you know, it's a bit unusual because it's not a location I would ever really thought was a priority. You know, considering it's basically just a border world, or maybe that's why it's there. It's because it's the border. I don't know. It's just nice to see that they're putting, you know, it's a level of detail. I mean, the train bridge in it, for example, actually lines up with the other train bridge and isn't like a grotesquely different height. So it gives hope. They're also saying that the map is 25% larger. That means one thing: it's either a bigger map itself, or it means they're not putting the invisible walls in everywhere and locking off like quite a large portion of the map. Because quite a lot of New Vegas is invisible. There's like a whole patch in the middle of it that you can't go to. Oh, it's Yawaz. And the guys are down. This one also happens to see like all the mole rats from the nearby hole. And you can see they're quite... The way they normally are in fast-firing automatic weapons means that the Brotherhood does tend to win most engagements. Vanilla, they win even more because they're always in T60. You know, they win even more than Vanilla because they're in T60. Which is a bit ridiculous. The amount of T60 present Vanilla is just... I get that it was the... I get that it was your... Or the first asset made for Fallout 4 was T60. And I get that it was supposed to like be it was supposed to actually originally start life as a replacement T45, like a reimagined, but it became its own thing probably when they realised that it wasn't T45. You know, the helmet's pretty much the same, it's just sort of a bigger, beefier version of the helmet. And how I see T60 is it's not superior to T51. But T51 is expensive and cost prohibitive, you know, uses a lot of rare materials. T60 isn't quite as protective, but it's more robust, it's definitely cheaper, and you know, can be sort of upgraded from T4 it's sort of an upgraded T45. Not quite as good as T51, but you know, all things considered, it's probably slightly better. But, because, you know, when costs is a factor. Oh, great. When you run out of ammo, middle of a field, you charge at ferals and you run out of ammo. And of course it's a putrid glowing one. Of course it had to be a powerful glowing one. It couldn't just be a regular glowing one. At least the glowing one's dead. Well, that's the flamer gone. And one of probably many reasons why I don't use the flame. There's a reason why I don't use flamers very often, it's because they are quite ammo hungry. And the ammo, while common, you don't find it in enough... You know, it's a relatively common ammo if you can find it on ferals, but it's a case of you just don't find enough of it to keep a flamer going for very long. You know, it's one of those ammos. Well, it's not a rare ammo. It's probably about classify it as uncommon. You know, if you classify things as common, uncommon, rare, and very rare, then you know, Fat Man would fall under very rare. Missiles would fall under rare. Fusion cores would fall under rare. Flamer would fall under uncommon. You know, 3.8 would classify as common. Fusion Cell would class as common, because that's everywhere. But, you know, it's the case of Flamer Fuel just don't quite find it in the quantities you need to find it and to keep it going.
Other side's chained up.
Which obviously wouldn't be an issue, apart from the fact that it burns through it at a truly shocking rate. Must drag you to slog. Must will pass through this farm first. Say, lots on not particularly good build space. I mean, it's got some build space, but this greenhouse kind of takes over this entire settlement. This is one of those This is a raider supply settlement if you're doing raiders. It's a good one for it. Mainly due to the fact that it's basically just a big farm. When it comes to raider supply settlements, ones like that are probably the best choice. Except when you have... It's what you take over one of your own settlements that you've specifically built up as a farm and basically has ridiculous overcapacity. What, no checkpoint here? Those are military shit, it normally would be. Oh no! Hoopamu ants! Oh, super mutants. You know, they're threatening at a low level, but other than that, they are just completely useless. Let me guess. Machine gun? Yep. See, that's a short machine gun. That's like, I think, the most base spec one, and that wasn't destroying me. Powerful machine gun! Just looking at the... If you look at that, 50. That's nowhere near as powerful as the powerful one. That's probably enough that my armor resist is enough to pretty much totally negate it. Ghouls.
Wise man is a great man, a great leader.
Hey, you.
Christ. This radio's a damn radio station. What can I do for you?
I'm here to make you in. This place will supply me and my friends in Nuka World caps.
Oh, I don't know. A lot of hard work goes into this.
Listen.
I think X6 is engaged. That or something with a laser rifles nearby. Oh, no, X6 is there, so something else with a laser rifles nearby apparently. I swear I saw a laser bolt. I'll just go across there. Yep, back to Nuka World. I honestly cannot be bothered to walk back there, so vertibird. Yep. What could that possibly be? Oh, operators. I honestly thought it was a trade caravan. It tends to be the trade caravans in these locations. Where the hell are they? Yes, put your guy with a sledgehammer on the roof. That makes perfect sense, Forged. You put your guy with a non-range weapon on the roof. Nope, the bird is engaged. Also, this is one of the first places I used the artillery grenades. I threw them at the doorway on top to sort of bombard the top. That was a mistake, because I went into the building before the bombardment has ceased. So when I came out, I immediately got like 5 mortars on top of my head, which, you know, is pretty much an insta-kill. Because for some reason that artillery is basically firing Fat Man shells. Gunners. Now it's probably what the operators were fighting was gunners. And back to Nuka World. Yeah, stretch. That's a stretch. I feel I'll come back to. Oh, missed that car. Too slow. Shouldn't have stretched, but no. If I hadn't stretched, I would probably have pulled something, and I'd be in agonising pain, as would anyone watching. Because, well, when you think peaking the microphone is bad, you have not heard my screams. When I'm in pain, my scream of pain is the whole street sort of hears it. It kind of, yeah, it's a little exaggeration, but it's still pretty accurate. It's not pleasant for anyone nearby, I think is the safest way to put it. Ear piercing. Definitely ear piercing. I may not sound very girly normally, but when I scream, holy crap, can you not you know, the girliest I ever sound is when I scream. It's really, really ear piercing. You know, and then there's fake screaming, which is different. When it's legit in pain one, there's no mistaking my gender. You know, you can mistake my gender all you like. Like, I've gotten used to correcting. You know, that's become normal for me. I know I sound a bit mannish, but, you know, I've gotten used to it. Some of it is mic distortion, some of it isn't. That's likely the first behemoth you'll find. Very, very likely that's the first one you'll find. That's the Roach King. Must have a Gatling laser. For some reason the Roach King has like a really good weapon. He has either a minigun or a Gatling laser. Not quite sure why, but he does. If you're wondering why he's called the Roach King, it's because he's one with the Rad Roach. Speaking of rads, that is basically a radioactive cesspool. There's a car going underneath me and I can't shoot it. I don't particularly want to blow it while Vertibir's going over it. Don't want to damage my ride. More specifically, the pilot. I think if the pilot dies, something goes seriously wrong if the pilot dies.
I'm bringing her in. Hang on to something.
Got to take Nuka-Cola Express again. You know, Nuka World was one of those DLCs where, when I heard the name, because the name was leaked roughly the time Far Harbor came out, you know, people have found how, you know, nukaworld.esm in the far aisle somewhere, as well as Workshop 3 and 4, Workshops 2 and 3 as well. But, you know, when I heard it, I was thinking, oh, so we're not getting a proper DLC, and it turns out to be, you know, yeah, it doesn't have much in the way of quest content, but, you know, it's got a lot, you know, it's an interesting world space.
Hello, and on behalf of the Nuka-Cola Corporation, we'd like to welcome each and every one of you aboard the Nuka Express monorail. For your own safety,
The Nuka Express seems ridiculously badly designed. I mean, look how little floor space there is in it. Oh wait, no, there's loads of floor space. Pointlessly. There's very little actual, you know, but there's not like nothing to hold on to. So it's kind of like gone overboard.
Coming up in the heart of Nuka World, Nuka Town, USA, featuring the Cola Cars Arena.
Because, you know, public transport's got primarily one purpose: to fit as many people as possible into as small a space as possible. Therefore, as being the most efficient. But this seems rather inefficient. It seems to have too much floor space, but not enough handles. Normal public transport, if you know, with this exact layout, would have more places for people to hold. Like, let's just say bars down the you know, handbars down the middle to hang on to would be normal. I'm not sure if it's the case in the US, but in the UK, bloody hell, you know, public transport's cramped. The only time you get this much floor space without something in the way is when it's a disabled area. You know, it really is cramped.
Transit center.
Ugh, and now at least I can send Shank out to County Crossing, so I don't have to come back here every time. Yeah, at least they thought to put that in. It could have been worse.
Ready to tear the place apart if we don't get the hell out of there. It's cute, but irritating.
Then I guess we'll just have to let them know who they're dealing with. You did good. Now get going. The adults are gonna discuss this. Figure this would happen sooner or later. Our outposts caught the attention.
Oh no!
An outside crew of raiders.
Oh no! Well, we did destroy a raider outpost to get it, so...
Suppose this provides us a...
I will rip them to...
Bingo. Only language, but you should probably get going. Wouldn't be me.
Sure.
Oh, great. No, I've got to go back here again. You know, I've got to come back here again. I forgot about the raider attack, and then you can send Shank to the Commonwealth. After that, basically once your gang is established and bedded in. It's a good job. This is part of the reason why I always give like settlements big guns to defend them. It just helps so much in the long run.
Going up.
I'm just wondering what that second floor was. I mean, this is like an observation lounge, it doesn't actually observe anything. The big question is just how far away is Nuka World from the Commonwealth? Is this basically just a thing through the mountain? Or is Nuka World quite a bit further away?
We are now arriving at the station. Please be sure to collect any children and personal belongings before exiting the Nuka Express.
Is it just the other side of the mountain? Is it quite a few miles away? It's really hard to say, because normally like the fact that such a monorail exists typically wouldn't be too long a journey, especially since it's single track and non-circular, so it's back and forth only. The reality of it is there's probably a splitting point halfway, like a lot of these like one-line tracks have, basically to allow two trains to go independently of each other, crossing each other over. You know, that's typically how a railway would a single track railway operates, as you have a crossing point somewhere in the middle. And if one train's running fast, it has to wait for the other one to come past. It's just how it is. I mean, railways are amazingly well organised things. I love how chain link fences have advanced locks. When said fence, you could, a pair of like bolt cutters could easily go through. Hell, a sharp, a hammer or something. You could probably kick them down. Like you go through all the effort to unlock it when you could realistically just give it a good kick and it would open. Or punch a hole through it and you just climb through. Good to go to Coastal Cottage. Actually, just as a security measure, I'm going to stop by. Where's my nearby settlement of mine? Relatively nearby, of course. Ugh. It's not actually anything nearby. Because I don't actually own anything. I'll go to Boston Airport because I just want to make sure it's actually reset. So if I fly to Boston Airport, sleep for 2 days. That's enough, normally enough to reset it. Make sure the settlement's fine because I'm not sure if I've spent enough time. It's the one downside with transfer settlements is you do sort of have to remember to not go to settlements after you've built them. For a while. It's really the one downside of transfer settlements. Oh, and don't ever nuke the castle, ever. Because it will fuck up the radio beacon. And once that thing's fucked up, there is nothing that will fix it. The way that radio beacon is, you cannot fix it once it's broken. Because a lot of its functions are handled by script, not by iQuest, and I tried, and once you broke it, it is completely broken. What's really funny was when I learnt all this, it was on my I had a Minuteman and character. Scrawny little thing she was. She was a bit of a twig. Sort of a sniper, that's about all she could do because she was a scrawny little twig. But, just the fact that, the one time I actually side with the Minutemen is the time I managed to fuck up the transmitter. And because that transmitter is confined to every Minuteman and quest, major Minuteman quests, like the Minuteman endings, the Minute and artillery, all of it is tied to that stupid transmitter. So if that transmitter's fucked up, that's it. So she's actually stuck in a save where she cannot fast travel. Or use vertebrates, because they technically count as fast travel. Because I sort of had to console the Pridwin along, and the thing that makes it so the game locks up, that's quests, so you can't fast travel. But what clears that condition is a script which didn't run. So, effectively, it completely fucked her up. Obviously, if she wasn't Minuteman, it wouldn't have been a problem. But she was, so it was. It's kind of a case where it was only a problem because she was Minuteman, but basically, lesson here is never, ever nuke the castle. At least things that you didn't build. And even then, be careful. I just wouldn't nuke it. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if Dante has implemented a safeguard to stop that in the newest versions, because I'm on an older version, because I'm still on Pre-Creation Club. Unfortunately, Dante happened to just come out with another mod. Play a voice changer, so that you change the pitch on it so it can sound different. Which is a mod I really want. Obviously, I'm going to let bed in for a few weeks first, get all the bugs out of it. But fortunately, that means I do have to suffer the going around the fucking around, changing everything, making sure everything works post-creation crap update. Which is just a nuisance. Well, I'm try and land. No, it's not going to try and land in Liberty Prime this time. And we'll go into T51 now. Oh wait, is it... Apparently something's farming this food. And if it isn't Jezebel... Oh yeah, it's Farmotron, isn't it? It's Farmotron. Because it's Farmotron, Jezebel, and the next 6 that technically live here. You know, X6 being a technicality, because it's where I centre as a settlement. Way to ensure transfer settlements always works. Go to a settlement, but many more. The other end of the Commonwealth, or at least a good 5 map, good few map blocks away. Basically, make sure it can't possibly be loaded. Then sleep for 2 or 3 days. I'm not even kidding. This is a typical. I think it's 3 days to reset. So. It just ensures it works properly. It's just one of those things that you do. Of course, normally you would just wait, but of course you can't wait in Fallout 4 unless you're sitting, and chairs aren't actually that common, so you might as well just use a bed. It's the one gameplay feature that I don't like that they changed in Fallout 4 over like previous one. Yeah, over the previous Fallout. It's the one bit of game. I don't give a shit about skills. In fact, I'd rather not have them. I don't mind skills when they go up as you use them, like Skyrim, Elder Scrolls style, effectively. But Fallout style, where you randomly assign them every level up, that annoys me. That's just like, oh, pointless. Like, what purpose does that have? Well, time to go to Coastal Cottage. It must have fixed itself by now. I'm gonna do this and then finish up. And find that fight. Finish up. America Shack! With very little in it. The only thing I've noticed is the America flag. But yeah, pretty much the only thing I don't like is the inability to wait. I can live with the skills. I don't think I don't particularly like them, but I can live with them. But it's not like something I can live. I can't live with. It's just something I don't particularly care for them in any way. Better than the like the random attributes in Oblivion. I can live with them, but I don't like them. Especially the attributes, they're even more redundant, because at least skills sort of directly correlate to things, while attributes sort of don't. I mean, they're just kind of pointless, and the way they were earned in Oblivion was horrendous. The entire leveling up system in Oblivion was awful. It was terrible. In fact, it's one of the few things that people pretty much always agree on with Oblivion, is that its leveling system was just broken. Even if you like that micromanagey style, where you got to keep track of every bloody attribute and stat, even people like that will admit that Oblivion's was not a good way, because it actively punished you for playing your build as you were supposed to. Actively punished you for it by making things tougher. Especially if it said a non-combat build, life got a lot harder if you had a non-combat build and you leveled up in Oblivion, because of the way the level scaling was. It was so bad. Oblivion was bad. Its leveling was awful. But one thing I really do hate with the old Fallout, and it does unfortunately look like Fallout 4 New Vegas is bringing it back, because today or yesterday I think it was, they shared a little gif of someone picking up a 10mm pistol with a new HUD that looks more like New Vegas's, which includes compass moved into the left for just annoyance factor. Rather than having it in the middle where it's nice and obvious and easy to see, no, they have it sort of shoved off to the left. But as long as there's a way to tweak it so it doesn't go down. Because what I don't hate the condition system in its entirety. I hate it, only because things degrade at a ridiculously fast rate. You know, firing 2 clips off a gun should not require me to have to find another gun to fix it with spare parts. It just shouldn't. You know, it just shouldn't. It shouldn't require me to fix the fucker every time I fire it. Which, unfortunately, is how it was. I don't mind having to, you know, get a weapon that's in bad condition and then having to repair it to use it. That's fine. I have nothing against that. If anything, that's better. Because it's sort of, yeah, you got a powerful weapon, but you can't repair it until a much later level, so it's kind of like a case of you sort of don't, you have it, but you can't use it properly. And now it's dead. But which is how I have it in my New Vegas, is I have it so, yeah, condition doesn't, you know, condition hasn't been destroyed, it just doesn't go down. I think it getting shot at makes it go down. I think that always makes it. You know, I think stuff like having the weapon shot at will downgrade it a bit. But I basically set the multiplier for taking, you know, for damage as something ridiculously low, so it basically can't. You know, I don't mind it, but it's something I couldn't. It just got really annoying to live with. Like, oh, every fight got to repair everything you own. Oh, I can't wear this coat because I can't fix it. You know, it was just really annoying. It's like vanilla power armor in Fallout 4. I have kept the braking system. I don't hate it at its core, but the vanilla settings for it was just infuriating. Because it just would break every single fight. You know, you could go a single fight, boom, power armor's broke. I mean, the fact that even with like a heavily reduced damage it takes, it still breaks pretty often. Oh dear, what's... Oh, it's a blood bug. Or a stingwing, something insecty with big wings.
Hey there. Well, look who finally made it. We spotted a pretty shady group nearby. We could get company any minute, so watch your back.
And the miniguns are firing. That'll be the Raiders. Except that was not actually the... that was a My Alert Queen! That's not... Oh shit! The mini-nuke fired. There is a single mini-nuke turret placed on a... You know, there's a single mini-nuke turret here. And holy crap when that goat decides to go off. You know, you don't want to be around when that fucker goes off. You know, if that can get target lock, you are dead. I say, when that fucker decides to go, that fucker goes. You know, it just destroys when it finds you. You know, it's deliberately placed on like one of the highest point where it gets a good sight radius, and specifically where it can't really hit its own settlement. Because the only ways to approach a settlement are over here, which it can't see, over there, which it can't see, and down here, which it can see. You know, it can see up to that My Alert Queen roughly, which basically makes it so it can't really hurt its own settlement. But that's the downside with the mini-nuke turret, is you've got to be really careful of where to put them. Hence why it's there. Also, I might as well show the shack while I'm here. Oh yeah, it's got to destroy this dead truck as well, because that's sort of in the way. You know, some things I just... But you can't scrap a lot of stuff here, which makes it a really crap settlement. Also, it's Raiders, they're just going to throw mattresses there. And then, For the nicer raiders, there's a few beds upstairs. Still sort of slewing around, but it's not a settlement I'm particularly happy with. It's not a very nice one, it's kind of scummy and nasty. I mean, it's raiders. Also, I had to use the console commands to sort of get these walls in, because otherwise actually making a metal building that has some sort of structure to it is very difficult because of the way that, you know, these pieces all make a nice round bit, but this bit, you know, the doorway only exists in this shape, which means that you sort of have to faff around it. And it's really, it's not a nice set to build with metal. You know, it's not a particularly nice one to make shit with. But I really cannot be asked to go to Nuka World for like the 15th time, so this time I am actually fast travelling. Because I really cannot be asked to go to... It's like going back to Fort fucking Dawnguard every time. You just can't be asked to go across the map 15 times. You know, we'll get Shank in the Commonwealth, and now we won't have to go fucking back to Nuka World every 5 minutes. Yeah. Being a raider, it's more legwork than you'd ever think. Much, much more legwork than you'd ever think.
Heard some rumbles, this one didn't get you either. Figure I shouldn't be surprised.
Oh no!
You can be such a troll.
Your secret's safe. So I suppose your recent success brings us to the next step. And to keep a crew loyal, you need to keep. Just have to make sure they've got some things to keep them entertained, and that they're. Now, if you want me to go,
I think I've got.
Sure. If you've ever got no better tool to tell you. Now, this.
I love how Outpost can somehow transpond to that thing.
Setting up means we can start looking onward. And with the place in as good shape as it is...
Getting the happiness up is basically you have to construct the booze stills and the chem stations, and lots of them.
You just let me know if that's... So, you ready for the final piece of the puzzle?
I'd prefer a nice round of backgammon, but...
Again, you can be such a troll.
Because what you've made is a foothold. 2 more outposts. Get all that together? With that kind of clout, we keep expanding from there. Sure. But I'm getting ahead of my... You just let me know. So, boss.
I'm interested in running a job.
Yeah.
A new outpost.
You can't even claim new food sites until you got these free e-settlers up.
Yourself, or should I rally someone?
Get me a crew.
I know where I'm going.
In which gang you want to join you on the job?
The operators.
I'll let them know. So, where do you want to hit?
Notice I can't actually go to certain ones for some reason. I don't know why. I guess Grey Garden's because there's non-killables. Even though they are killable. Oberlin, I think a companion's there. Maybe Grey Garden's got a companion, I don't know. But, no, I actually specifically want to go to Jamaica Plain. Or maybe you can't attack your own settlements.
Let me...
I'm quite happy with how my Jamaica Plain sets up.
So you know how this job works.
And I can see the operators looking at it.
I'll have some of our people meet you there to assist. Knock them dead, boss.
Hey, Shank.
Just don't let them kill you, boss. Wouldn't look good for the rest of us. More outposts you claim.
Oh. You have to send him first.
Got another one coming to the gauntlet, boss. Fritch is waiting for you.
Sheep with bags on their heads?
Hey, Shank.
Taking along some extra gear.
Ugh. That means I'll come back to Nuka World again. Oh dear. Gotta go around again.
What happened?
Okay, so I get the name. Turns out I knew the guy.
Ugh. Why do I always have to come back here?
Guess you heard the alarm, huh? Well, you know.
Time to put on a show.
Hell yeah!
Hopefully this one won't have a really overpowered machine gun. Well, there's the hope, anyway. Because when it comes to NPCs, give them machine guns and they are so much more deadly.
Was a bet going to see who could down a mutie from the longest distance.
Seems like the work never ends, but I'll get it done somehow.
Gotta go to Cobra Cards, fight another loser. Probably with a ridiculous health pool and a massive machine gun. Or it could be a Wuhan.
Smells like dead meat.
Mags, William, and Liz.
Smells like a pile of feces. Oh wait. Nope. I think the doors are supposed to be closed, but... Again, automatic weapon again, but nowhere near as powerful this time. I think he had a Molotov. So nowhere near as overpowered that. Because it's not a fucking 70 damage per shot weapon. There, done. And no stealth boy either, which means you can't cheat in that. Because for some reason, stealth boys completely defeat that, despite the fact that enemies don't seem to be affected in the slightest if you use one. I really cannot be asked to go on a Nuclear Express again. I think from this point on, I'm just gonna, whenever I have to go back to Nuclear World just to hand a quest in, I'm just gonna quit fast travel because, well, it really does just make life easier. Because going to Nuclear World at any time just for handing in a quest is a bit ridiculous. Or setting up a next quest. It's basically just a turn-in spot. But I really have other things to do today, so that is the end of the stream. Well, it will be in a few minutes when I've saved up, because I always save up. It's finally reached 1 day, 1 hour, 1 minute. But that is the end of the save. That is the end of the Fallout. Skyrim stream tomorrow. It might be a late starter again, I don't know. You know, I can't say for sure. But when your autosave goes, exit saves are just annoying. Also, if you've ever been wondering what this sort of noise is, it's me fidgeting with things on my desk. It's how I do. It's how I am. I'm kind of restless. You know, I'm horrendously lazy, yet I'm also restless. You know, my hands have to be doing something at all time. You know, pretty much all time. So I'm fidgety but also lazy. Yeah. Anyway, that is the end of the stream. Thank you for watching. Subscribe or donate if you want. Good